WLUW 88.7. I'm Brigitte Sheerin.
And I'm Antoinette Isama. Here's our top story. Investigators are still trying to find answers in today's mass stabbing at a suburban Pittsburgh high school. Officials say a 16-year-old student injured 19 other students and a school police officer. The officer eventually subdued the boy with the help of an assistant principal. 8 students between the ages of 15 and 17, along with one adult, have been admitted to a nearby hospital with stab wounds. Hospital spokesman Jesse Miller says that the injuries are all very serious. Marysville Police Chief Thomas Seafeld says the bloody crime scene was vast and may take a couple of days to process. Reports say that the suspect, whose name has not been released, is in custody, and investigators have not determined a motive.
President Obama and the First Lady are in Fort Hood, Texas today, attending a memorial service for the 3 soldiers killed there a week ago. According to military police, Specialist Ivan Lopez shot and killed 3 fellow soldiers and wounded 16 more before ending his own life. This is the second shooting at Fort Hood since 2009. In November of that year, 13 people were killed and 30 more were wounded. Obama will be joined at the memorial by a number of other dignitaries, including Texas Senators Ted Cruz and John Cornyn.
Some mechanical troubles for Toyota. The automaker has announced that they are recalling nearly 6.5 million cars globally. The world's biggest automaker found 5 different faults in 27 Toyota models, involving airbags, steering, and seat problems. In the U.S., Toyota is recalling 2009 to 2010 Corolla, Matrix, and Tacoma, and there are other models which are part of the recall, including the Pontiac Vibe, which the automaker built for General Motors. A complete list of all the recalled models can be found on the Toyota News Press website.
Mayor Rahm Emanuel is challenging Governor Pat Quinn in a battle over pension reform. In Springfield, lawmakers approved an updated version of Emanuel's plan to raise property taxes and cut retirement benefits for some city workers. Now Governor Quinn is being asked to sign the new pension bill. Some political observers say if the governor signs the bill, it could change his approach to his campaign against Republican Bruce Rauner. But at the same time, the city of Chicago has to do something about the pension deficit. The mayor has taken his revised plan for pension reform, which includes a tax increase, to city council.
The Archdiocese of Chicago confirms Francis Cardinal George is battling cancer again. Francis Cardinal George is resuming his chemotherapy treatment and will not be traveling to Rome at the end of this month for the canonization of Popes John Paul II and John XXIII. The Archdiocese says the Cardinal plans to still participate in Holy Week services and Easter Sunday Mass.
UConn's women's basketball team remained undefeated last night with a 38-0 record after beating Notre Dame in the national championship. UConn's basketball program is the first since 2004 to win both the men's and women's national championship games. UConn did it that year as well. But how many people actually watched the women's game? WLUW's Emily Brown has more.
I took to the streets of Chicago today to find out just how many people watched the NCAA Women's Championship game last night. I asked 12 people if they watched the game, and only 2 answered yes. But only 1 watched the entire game. The other person turned the game off after the first quarter because it was obvious UConn was going to kill Notre Dame. UConn won the game with a final score of 79-58. Of the 10 people that did not watch the game, their reasons included travel, work, and no interest. When I asked them if they knew who was playing, 5 said UConn versus Kentucky, which was actually the men's championship game on Monday night. For WLUW, I'm Emily Brown.
Thanks, Emily. We'll be back with sports and weather, but first, here's Around Campus with Alex.
What's up, Loyola? This is Around Campus with Alex. It's a busy week for the university's Department of Fine and Performing Arts. Not only can you see the main stage production Hot Mikado until April 13th, but you can also see Invisible, a show written by senior Brown Sherman, filled with monologues about people struggling with arthritis. Catch it tonight in the Underground Laboratory Theater. If the theater is not your thing, figure out your fall 2014 schedule. Registration opened Monday, so if you're still unsure about what courses to take, make sure to drop your advisor an email. Already know your classes? Don't worry, there's more to keep you occupied. Tonight at 7 p.m. in Crown Center, writer and art critic Karen Wilkin will present the 3rd annual Gregory and Rosalind Terry Lecture. And finally, let's support the #1 ranked men's volleyball team. They're getting ready to play Ohio State this Friday. Men's volleyball has not won at Ohio State in 10 years, so get your foam fingers ready. That's it for Around Campus with Alex. Have a great day, Loyola.
In sports, as you heard earlier, the UConn women's basketball team beat Notre Dame 79-58 to win the NCAA tournament last night. Here in Chicago, the Blackhawks return to the ice tonight. They host the Montreal Canadiens at the United Center. The Bulls will play their first game since Saturday. They're in Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves tonight. In Loyola sports, the softball team plays crosstown rival DePaul tomorrow. Though it's a home game for the Ramblers, the game will be played at DePaul's Cacciatore Stadium due to field conditions at Loyola Softball Park. And keep an eye out on Friday when the men's volleyball team travels to Ohio to take on Ohio State.
In weather, spring has finally sprung in Chicago. It's bright and sunny outside with temps in the 60s lasting throughout the week. It is currently 54 degrees and sunny outside our studio.
And finally, Benny and Veronica are in mourning today after Archie Comics announced that Titler character Archie Andrews will die in the next issue. According to a spokesperson, the Life with Archie series will end with its 37th issue, but issue 36 will deal with Archie's death. Archie will reportedly die while saving a friend. But don't fret, Archie fans, this is not the end of the comic series because the Life with Archie series deals with Archie's future life, so he will continue to live on in the comic set in the modern day.
I can't believe they killed off their main character.
I know, but it's not really killing him off. They're just ending that series.
I mean, I guess. It's okay. That's all for Lunchtime News on WLEW 88.7. I'm Antoinette Isama.
And I'm Brigitte Sheerin. Have a great day.
Sexual assault cases are a major concern on all college campuses, including Loyola University Chicago, where another case has been reported. Joining us in the studio is the news editor of the Loyola Phoenix, Brigitte Sheerin, who broke the story. What's this all about, Brigitte?
A female Loyola student reported on Saturday that she was sexually assaulted by a male student in Mertz Hall. According to Campus Safety, the offender was an acquaintance of the female student. CPD has no record of the incident. They said that campus police handles any crime that happens on Loyola's campus. Loyola's communication director, Maeve Kiley, told me that the male student has not been arrested, but that the university is following protocol in taking action against him. Students were not alerted of the crime by Campus Safety. Special Project Sergeant Tim Cunningham told me that was because the offender was immediately identified and they believed there was no further threat to the Loyola community. This is the second sexual assault on Loyola's campus in recent years. Last year, on January 27th, a Loyola freshman, Colin Kennedy, was arrested after being accused of raping two female students in Fordham Hall. Kennedy last had a status hearing on his case on February 19th. For WLUW, I'm Brigitte Sheerin.
We'll be back with your sports and weather, but first, let's break it down with Brigitte.
Good afternoon, Loyola. This is Breaking It Down with Brigitte. I'm Brigitte Sheerin. Let's see what's going on at Loyola this week. Don't forget to check your inbox. Voting for the Excellence Awards is open until Friday at midnight. Nominate your friends or yourself for some of Loyola's top honors. Tomorrow night, come down to Gentile and support your number one ranked men's volleyball team. They take on George Mason at 7 p.m. On Friday, make sure to check out the School of Communications FOIA Fest, hosted by the Society of Professional Journalists. This all-day event teaches students how to obtain information from sources through the Freedom of Information Act. This event will be held in Casbier Hall. This weekend, the women's basketball team travels to St. Charles, Missouri to take part in their first ever Missouri Valley Conference tournament. Their first game is tomorrow at 4:05 versus Bradley. And last but not least, seniors, don't forget to buy your tickets for Senior Send-Off. The first of 4 events is next week at the Goose Island Brewery. That's it for today for Breaking It Down with Brigitte. I'm Brigitte Sheerin.